What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 185, being recorded on November 16th, 2022. I am your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here with me.
What's up, nerds?
We got Grand Admiral Franz.
Did you seriously wait for me to start?
Yeah.
Maybe. I went and got tea and did some things around the house so we could skip all this bullshit. Everybody knows who I am. I was like, what the hell? Just get all this rigmarole done and I'll just get into the good stuff.
Yeah. So, in other words, we're late because of that guy right there.
Poor decision making on the host. Just started without me. Yeah, I was skipping out on the hard stuff.
You were. And we've got Bootleg Binks over there.
I've got tons of Vicks stuffed in my nose. Thanks, Chris.
Sorry. Change of weather.
And it wasn't even him. Inside joke.
All right, guys.
It probably was.
It probably was. It was both of you in unison. Yeah. Hey, before we get started and all the great Star Wars stuff that we have in store for you guys today, we do want to give a special shout out and a thank you to our Patreon. So, Scott, take it away.
Thank you, one and all, to all of our Patreon members. We really appreciate you. Every single dollar that you donate to us goes right back into the production of this show. And without you, we wouldn't have the Vicks to shove up our noses or the neti pot to clean out our nasal passages when we have whistle nose. So we really appreciate you.
You're welcome, chat. You're welcome, Pitt. No more whistle nose.
No more whistle nose. Well, there might be still whistle nose.
I was caring for it, and you could have started while I was doing so. So I mean,
I debated.
So if you are so inclined to help us keep our nasal passages clean, feel free to log on to patreon.com.
It's a good t-shirt.
Taking a weird turn.
Starlight Digest podcast and donate a couple of bucks like these fine fellas and ladies here. We have Nicholas Schaefer, Ryan and the Star Joes. And just a side note real quick for Ryan and the Star Joes, Ryan just announced in his 171st episode that I think it was 271st episode, that episode 300 is going to be the very last episode of Star Joes.
What?
He's gone for 14 years. He's been doing the podcast thing. If it wasn't for Ryan and me talking to him about 8 years ago, we would not have started the Nerds with Attitude podcast, and I wouldn't be here with you guys today. So,
wow.
Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Jesus. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
He was a big inspiration getting all this podcasting stuff started. So thanks, Brian.
Hopefully the last few podcasts, and he's certainly made a dent in that world. So yeah,
absolutely.
Looking forward to seeing what he has in store then for the finale.
Absolutely. Also, we would like to thank Cliff, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Flavy Davy, formerly one of my co-hosts on the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Don the Dad Dorn, that's right, my father-in-law, Don the Dad Dorn, Mervine, Gavin Connor of the All Cure Holy Hour podcast, Crystal Lamphir, Brandon and Anya Epler, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, and maybe Fanboy Mike. I don't know. Maybe not.
He's still there. We checked the bottom line. He's still donated.
Okay, good.
He's still in there.
That's how he gets to be part of the show.
Yeah, monetarily.
I want my name mentioned. Well, pay up, buddy.
Money talks, Mike.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since you're in the shout out mood, I think our Pit is in there. I think they've already started to chat up a little bit. So go ahead and tell everybody who's being digested.
You got it. We've got the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. There was a lot of words there. Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. Gordon. Hey, Gordon, what's up? You actually joined us 2 weeks in a row. This is awesome.
I know. He's watching TV again.
Yay. We got Cliff in there. We've got Santo1414, Lunar Girl, Papa Schmitty. Oh, wow. Dragon Buddy. Who else have we got here? Julianne Fernie, all the way from Alaska. And
awesome.
There's some other folks in there watching too that just haven't spoken up just yet. So, hey, what's up, nerds?
Awesome. I kind of want to bring this up real fast just to kind of kick off things. Luna Girl, Marva sad, B2 emo, so sad. Luthen freaking's awesome.
B2 emo is the most apt name for that droid right now.
Right.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, guys.
I'm gonna listen to My Chemical Romance in my little cubby.
Hide the razor blades
on my wireless charger.
We're gonna get right into it. You know why? It's because everything, there's nothing really else going on with Star Wars right now, and unless it's Andor stuff, and unless it's that little whatever the hell that Grogu and Dust Bunny thing that they dropped on Disney Plus that I don't even. I
Look,
even
don't-
myself for
I haven't
even bringing it
watched
up,
it yet.
Don't make content just to make content,
It-
and don't just see the problem I have with the anime stuff, just like Visions, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind the original stuff that you can tell is just Star Wars.
Yeah.
But when you take something that's already an anime or already known, I think these Dust Bunnies are already known, right? In that realm.
Yeah.
Don't just put some Grogu looking thing in it and pretend it's Star Wars. That just drives me nuts. That's all.
First off, yeah, if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, Disney Plus dropped like this 2-minute, 30-second short. It was like this short animation thing, and it would have, they sell it because it had Grogu in it or whatever it was. And it was like I looked at it and I was like, what am I doing? Like, what did I do with my life right now? I mean, I know that's only 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
I was just gonna say, you know what? I realized after I said it, I'm like, man, what a fucking overreaction. I said, I could just ignore this 2.5 minutes of my life.
I'm mad.
I could ignore
about
this,
it.
but I was too, and I was even when I was talking a minute ago. But I think the two of us saying so mad about this little ditzy, not even Grogu looking thing, all of a sudden hit me as well. That was wild. Who cares?
Like who cares?
I saw an image of it, and I thought it was a Pokemon thing. I thought it was Pikachu, and
Totally.
I mean.
Totally.
I mean, if that's what they're doing, they could just like. I mean, look, I don't know the studio, I don't know the artist, I don't know what kind of vision he had, like some spiritual thing. Whatever this animation short was, it just was like a student project. It was. I don't know. I was like, why is this here? Why is this on this awesome page of Star Wars stuff? And you have this and. Staring at me in the face, and I have to watch it. You know,
that's why Andor's not getting watched. It's the third thing on the Star Wars page. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's Grogu and the Dust Bunnies, and then Tales of the Jedi, and then Andor. Everybody's clicking on the first
Dust Bunny.
You shouldn't have to go hunting for Andor, but I noticed it too. Whenever I first logged on this morning to Disney Plus to watch it, it was the Santa Clauses, and I'm like, no, not that. So I scrolled by that, and there is Chris Hemsworth and his big exercise thing that he's got going on. Scroll by that. Grogu and the Dust Bunnies. I'm like, what the hell? Scroll past that. Andor.
Thing. I said the same thing, dude.
Fourth thing on there, and I'm like, this
dumb.
We're almost at the season finale.
Next
this
week
should be the very first thing that pops.
It should be. Yeah, it should be.
It's
and
so good.
And they've put Andor on Hulu now, right? Or on two other streaming sites. The first 3 episodes they put it on there just to, I guess, generate whatever it is and whatnot. But I mean, I'm kicking a dead horse when I say this. Of course, I think I'm absolutely enthralled with the series. We will be in heavy discussion about it and where it's going, what was going to happen next week about it and everything. But like Disney should be very, very proud of this product. Put it on the front page and just let it out there, man. Like people, I heard a lot of people wanting to binge it when it's all done. All right. I have never heard that with any other Star Wars IP or product out there. But Andor is one that they're like, look, I'll just wait because they watched the first 3 maybe and it was not it.
Boba Fett was the same way. I wish I would have binged that. I wish they would have put it out.
We know we weren't going to, right? But like people are
Yeah.
making a cautious effort.
Yeah,
like
you're
I've
right.
heard of a lot of that,
And it's probably smart. It's probably smart in this one because honestly, it takes it doesn't have my attention all the time. Sometimes I gotta rewind it and I'm like, oh man, I just blanked out during that last 5 minutes. Let me go back. And I'm not usually like that with a Star Wars show. I shouldn't have to rewind it. And that happens like when you're reading a book, you realize you just missed that page.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I'm
I
like,
get on
what
audiobooks.
did they just say?
Yeah. Audiobooks, I'll have to back it up every now and then to listen to something again. But not on this. This one has got me hook, line, and sinker. I hang on every word, but I also it's the first time on one of the shows that I've had the closed captions on just so I could catch some of the aliens and some of the stuff going on in the background and all that.
You have to.
And also to help me out with the names because I feel like I need to know the names of these characters more.
Well,
it's catching me. It's making me pay attention more.
Yeah. It's sped so fast that you have to catch them because it's not like where other shows it's very blatant who they're talking about, whether it's very familiar. Here it's like very like, oh yeah, is that dude.
We have to put it all together, right? We have to figure it out, get it memorized, put it who they belong to. It's a trek for us. It's fun. That's part of the fun of it, right? Because the other people we've had memorized for decades. So to learn new places where people fit is cool.
Oh, dude, we're gonna have to do a study guide after this. I would love to like revisit every planet and every character that we've got introduced as a brand new, something, and put it in like this, like a book or something. Like, oh, you know what? Okay, here's these new planets. Here's the lore around it, and like I said, all these new characters who's died. That'd be fun to do, actually. Like,
I hope
Andor's
they
a
do
good
that.
spot.
We usually get those seasons, like the Mandalorian season books and the movie books and whatnot. I would be first in line to pre-order Andor book. That'd be great.
Yeah,
This one seems like one you
the
would
art
really want.
of and everything,
Yeah.
especially like the art of or whatever, and the concepts.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to bring up real fast before we get. There was an interview with Gilroy about the antique shop, right?
Ooh.
And he was talking about oh man, I didn't do any of that.
Really?
That was the art department. I find out later, and I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's kind of like alluding to the fact that there's nothing in there of importance. I still kind of think there is, but
I think there's everything of importance. I mean,
there is in our lore, but to this plot, right?
So nothing that's going to, exactly. Nothing that's going to help.
He
with
said
this
everything we're
story.
looking at right here, nothing's hidden in there that we're digging at. It's just cool shit to look at.
It is. I mean, we got a Gungan shield this week, but so
it's been in there before, but that was part of my thought, right?
Okay.
The Gungan shield and the headdress of the
There's a lot of
Queen.
Naboo. Yeah,
There's a lot of Naboo, man. Handmaiden all the way, guys. I'm putting my money on her being a handmaiden. That's it.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Before we get started on our talk about Andor and whatnot, Julianne Fernie did ask the question. Can I ask everyone in the chat and the four on the podcast, who is your favorite Jedi? So curious. So
I gotta say that Ahsoka, because of what Chris did a hot topic on Ahsoka a long time ago, and I saw that. But I saw, but you still. Okay. Okay, you flipped me.
That
off.
was legit. I had a.
But
now
I'm gonna say now, because here's the thing: the Tales of the Jedi have really put in my head another spotlight on how I really don't like the Jedi. You know what I mean? Like that like the concept of the Jedi, but Ahsoka. Being a Jedi, and even though she doesn't consider herself one, but someone that embodies what a Jedi should be, I'm going with Ahsoka hands down.
Yeah,
like bottom line.
Mine is it used to be Obi-Wan. I used to absolutely Obi-Wan was my number one, but then as I think it was the transition from Clone Wars to Rebels whenever Ahsoka made her reappearance, and
that's what it is.
And she kind of was the wise Jedi, that helped bring Kanan and Ezra back into it all. That was what really kind of cemented that for me and made Ahsoka even cooler. And then, we came back with Clone Wars season 7.
That's what did it for me.
The Jedi and the Mandalorian and everything. And I'm just like, Ahsoka.
I hated her at the beginning. I really did. I didn't Snips. I liked Ahsoka. When Ahsoka got the realization that this is my path going forward, and my understanding of this is how a Jedi really should act, that's when I did that 180, and I was like, man, she embodies everything that a Jedi should have been. Chris.
Agreed.
Well, Ahsoka.
I know Chris likes.
And like
Ahsoka,
I said, the hot topic was more Jedi than Jedi, right? Because of all of them, she's the only one that really didn't fail at all, and she chose the right path at the end, which was leaving the Jedi for her own path, knowing that it was falling and everything else. And she never went into the other, like Obi-Wan literally said, Satine just had to say the word and he would have left. Type of thing, he was following that way. Then he turns on himself and all this stuff. And Ahsoka never really does any of that. She kind of gets a little cutesy with a guy when she's a teenager, but pulls back on that. She doesn't. That didn't really become part of her personality the way it became part of Obi-Wan's there that we saw.
Yeah.
And just everything she does, like I said, embodies what a Jedi should be. It's all for good. When she wouldn't kill the clones, really is what kind of showed you what she was. Because in episode 3, when Yoda and Obi-Wan go into the Jedi Temple, Yoda's throwing lightsabers through chests.
Dude, Yoda
right? Without blinking, man.
Yeah.
And that should be your Grandmaster Greatest Jedi. And he has nothing. But here's Ahsoka on 100 dudes, right? Like, on it. Like, OnlyFans for days.
Right.
And she says, I'm not going to kill any of these. I know it was.
Yeah.
But it was just, she wouldn't kill him. She was going to fight it. That was incredible. incredible. And that landing scene on the platform before it was absolutely the best.
Yeah, I think
the best Star Wars scenes.
Season
ever.
7 and Tales of the Jedi solidified me for Ahsoka, honestly, and book Mandalorian, and what we're going to be seeing in the future.
And it's funny that I like the season 7 Ahsoka, and I like the season 6 Ahsoka when she's falling.
Oh God,
right?
Yeah. Yes, I like that too.
So it's just those are my two favorites that just kind of make her it, you know.
Yeah. Joey, Jedi, not Sith, Jedi.
Okay, my
Okay.
favorite Jedi,
Anakin,
dead
Dooku.
Jedi.
Dead Jedi.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
funny.
But if I had to
evil
pick
man.
one, it would be Anakin. He's my favorite because I can relate to him more.
Mm.
You know, we all have flaws. He's had his flaws, but he was a great leader. And he was his own, you know, he wasn't bound by rules like the rest of the Jedi. And it led to his downfall, and he was always questioning why things are the way they are.
For selfish reasons, yes.
For selfish reasons,
Yeah.
but
Because Qui-Gon challenged the Jedi Order, and so did Obi-Wan at a point, but like Anakin was all about like, what can I get out of it? I'm always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
F the Jedi
I need
Order. I'm doing it
more, and
my
I know
way.
I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm gonna kill people and get revenge. But I mean, hey, that's but he didn't start that way. You know what I mean?
and that's what I loved about him was he knew he shouldn't, but he still did it anyways.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Was it the Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith Anakin that really swayed you that way, or did the Clone Wars have anything to do with it?
It was more the Clone Wars that
There you go.
Clone Wars,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. Yeah. That's when he was
Absolutely.
actually like, yeah.
And Clone Wars changed Star Wars for the better. I mean, like, just
Yeah.
it's just-
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's a great question. I love to revisit kind of stuff like that, or even get like, because sometimes those kind of questions change. They change on us all the time. Like,
The Ahsoka
if you ask
question-
me that. If you asked me that when
Yeah.
we started this podcast, I wouldn't even thought of Ahsoka until
I would have been with Scott and said Obi-Wan. It would have been
Yeah.
hands down at that point, you know.
Yeah,
Years ago.
I know. Dragon Buddy said Plo Koon. I don't know why I laugh at that. I think it's funny. We don't have enough.
It's
of
it's
Plo-
Filoni's.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, so no. Like I said, I love to revisit that kind of stuff because things change all the time, and as more info comes in.
There's a huge conversation going on in the pit right now about
see.
everybody's what they all think about Luthen and his origins and whether or not he could be a Jedi. And I have a theory about that.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking. I don't think he is a Jedi, like a Jedi Knight or anything like that. I think he's just a man who's had it up to here with the universe. But at the same time, if he did have Force abilities, and that was like some kind of lightsaber that he had hidden away in that stick that he handed one of the partisans, I could totally see him. It just flashed to my head, putting on that mask of the Jedi Temple Guard, and maybe being a Jedi Temple Guard, and maybe that's his mask from the temple.
Wouldn't that be the?
It's
yeah.
not.
Well, hey,
Still.
you know,
now the
it'd be
staff,
cool.
the stick was his staff because he has a retractable staff that he wears.
Yeah, we
right?
saw it. Yeah.
But
Flip
what
it
would
over
be
and it's a lightsaber.
what would be cool is if it was like some kind of electro weapon. I don't think a Force user vibe at all. Church of the Force, maybe. Right, we talked about that. That's what we touched on before. Maybe that far. But I don't think at Force. I think leave it out right now. Right? We got enough.
I think we go back to what the Inquisitors said in Obi-Wan Kenobi whenever they said a Jedi can't help himself. A Jedi will rush to defend anybody and everybody in need.
Yeah.
No, he's throwing people under the proverbial bus, He's no Jedi.
He did have the best line in this episode, by the way, when the guy had his staff. He's like, either drop it or give it back. I just was like, dude, that's awesome. I'm gonna hand every time someone asks for my ID, either drop it or give it back. On the inside, I'm not gonna say that on the outside. This is
They'll just drop it.
This is 2022 we live in, man.
Yeah.
I ain't getting shot over some stupid joke. But anyway, but yeah, so I don't know. Luthen, I don't think he's forced anything. I think he's just a guy that's leading the charge, and he probably will die leading the charge soon. And I don't know about next week. Maybe it's possible. But I think he's put so much out there that I don't get Jedi vibes anymore. With that, but if that be it, here's the thing, but if it did, and he did have a revelation of that, and he put that mask on, I would be surprised either. I'd be like, oh hell yeah, I'd be all in, right? I mean, I don't think I would be disappointed in it.
I think he'd be more likely to put on the headdress. I don't think he's gonna.
You can really spear someone with that. By the way.
Oh, but you know what would be cool? Forget the shield. There might be use for the shield at some point, which would kind of be cool because we've seen that almost every episode.
Yeah,
that would.
Wouldn't it be cool if they were raided? If they were raided by Imperials and they just start picking up ancient weapons and stuff, that'd be cool.
That's got to be some possibility, and I think it would be where either Mon or Vel would lead them to Luthen's hideaway, or something's gonna slip, and that'd be great. That that's when you get your lightsaber moment, and they have a lightsaber back there that wasn't burned, but
he's got to fall.
That's the first time I saw the Gungan shield.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but he has to fall, and I think that whole network on Coruscant has to get either expelled. They got to get caught. They got to leave. They got to do something because they can't stay. I don't think they can stay on Coruscant during the reign of the Empire in the original trilogy. But
living in under the shadow, like what close hiding right under their noses makes perfect sense. Also,
that'd be really cool. But I don't think we'll get that though, because I don't think the show's not going to go into that time frame. I think they're going to put a bow on everything before Rogue One starts.
So the thing is, the show is going anywhere but what we're deeming as a bringing the Jedi or Sith. It's going everywhere but that area. Which is again, it has its place. Not everything has to wield lightsabers. It'd be cool, but it doesn't have to.
Remember, we're in a time frame where, as far as we knew, there were no lightsabers being wielded. Period.
At all.
Right.
It shouldn't be.
Your sad devotion to that ancient religion. I mean, there's a sediment that if you don't see it, it hasn't existed.
We're lucky we got Kenobi and Vader. We're lucky we got Vader in Rogue One. We don't need to see any kind of Jedi in here. The only way I see it different is if we get some of we still haven't seen the underground, right? The path.
Right.
Which at some point one of these seasons will have to come up again. So
it's too good not to.
Right. At that point, you could see Quinlan.
Yeah.
It would actually feel weird and out of place.
Yes.
Right now.
Here.
I agree, man. You throw a lightsaber in the way it looks right now. I just, it doesn't jive yet.
I think we're going to see the path, and I think we talked about this before. I think we're going to see the beginnings of the path with the Bad Batch. I really do think that those guys, having done what they did, I could see them starting it.
Yeah,
and
that'd be awesome.
That would fit really well. But
it's too good of an idea to drop. Right. So we have to have some sort of conclusion to it or continuation of it or whatnot. But yeah, guys. So this episode. Okay. So next week's is the finale. Now, I know, right? It's and so we're 11 episodes in, and we're in the last two here, and it kicked off. We kind of thought that, So this was actually pretty cool. I'm going to kind of revert here. We saw what they've been doing. They're hiding from the Empire, or the Imperials chasing them, right, of the prison escape. But this whole thing was this is why I love the show. Okay, it's Melfi. He's ready to give up almost. He's like hanging on, and I can't do this anymore. And Cassian keeps pretty much telling him, look, they're leaving, and he's like, stop telling me they're leaving because I'm about to lose it all. And but he needed that extra hope and that extra strength to get the hell out of this situation. But it just kind of like cements their bond a little bit more in this scene.
Yeah, not only did I love this scene, we don't have a screenshot of the next scene, but the way the mountain, the contour of the mountain right here, it faded into the next scene where it was B2 looking out from his cradle, and it was a beautiful shot. Everything in this show is beautifully shot.
It is, especially this episode. I'm telling you, this episode's paid so much attention to emotion just by shot. And the next shot was B2's eye staring off, and the background noises. What we're getting is Cassian's mom has died. And really interesting point here. Really interesting point. the point where he shakes and he's shaking the cup off of the head and everything.
Yeah.
And if you notice, when someone said what about the droid, and he starts shaking, it's almost like who the hell put a cup on me? I'm not just a droid. I have feelings, kind of deal. Like this was my mom too that died, and who the hell used me as a coffee table?
I saw it more like he was just crying, not that it was a coffee table. But but you might be right. I didn't even think about that. I just saw when they mentioned, because they mentioned her. And then he started shaking. I just saw. I was like, damn! This emo droid is crying.
Oh
it's
my
the
god!
Most human droid we have ever seen.
Absolutely.
It's like if a dog. It's if a dog could talk.
Yes, 100%.
Right? Wild.
Yeah, Marva. When he said, "I want I don't want to be anywhere else. I want Marva," and it's like I was just like, okay, this is like 2 minutes into the show and already teary eyed the whole point, and yeah, we knew that she was gonna die, and we don't know the consequence other than I think it was she just sick, just fell ill and just died of old age and stuff, But it said, and I'm just kind of gonna jump around here, and it was what I really love about Star Wars too is with this scene and her death, we get basically a lot of lore on Ferric, right? I mean, how the dead are basically put back into their building blocks of life, and it was like
they're turned into bricks.
They're turned into brick and mortar for their buildings. And
so when somebody bombs them, or if when the buildings get old, you're just like, man, great grandma Mary's building.
I wish Ernie was here, because I'm like, the ghost stories in that place, man.
Oh, right.
Could you imagine how many Ouija boards have been taken from? Good Lord.
But what a really cool tradition of the people of there. That's what the show did great. With the eye. With Aldani, and Ferric, and it's just like I get it, and I was like, man, why is like a show that's not so action-packed got me so much,
and Chandrilla, it's like we're getting all of these little nuggets of tradition and culture, and it's like an anthropologist decided to write a Star Wars, and that's what we're getting. We're getting an anthropology Star Wars, which it's incredible. I mean, from like you said, Aldani, Ferric, even the Narcanians, we're finding out about them and how the Empire came in and spoiled their water. And it's like, you don't get that in every, we've got nice 12 episodes to give us more meat.
Yeah. Like all the other shows are real fast, trying to get in the, like, lore and like tie-ins and stuff, and it's like I said, introducing a character, and it ends up being real awesome, but at the same time there's no, like I said, my favorite word in Star Wars is marination. You don't get the marination like this show is giving you, but I'm thinking that Marva's funeral is the setting stage for the showdown.
Oh yeah.
They're
setting it up as a trap for sure.
Yeah, so even Dedra said it, like, allow them passes to have their funeral, but limit them. But so put them in a box so we can watch them. They expect Cassian to be there. They expect all these people to be there. So and now again, I'm jumping over the whole episode, but now Luthen's assistant knows about it. I don't know if Luthen knows yet. No, he doesn't know yet. Well, we don't know if he knows, but she knows. It's just like I said, the setting stage for next week's showdown here.
Mm-hmm.
The put him in a box and the tactics. I know this is back to my old blue guy right here, right? But the tactics are familiar, and he's also the only one I've ever heard in Star Wars use a tactic and say, "I'm going to put you in a box." Right, and about somebody in the unknown regions, if you remember that, right, Scott? But
he meant it like literally put them in a box.
He meant like a box, like a box. He was
Trap
boxing them in,
yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking, I would love it if I find out somehow this is somebody else he's got under his wing because he does that. I need him to show up in the next episode. Damn it.
We're gonna get Krennic. We're gonna get Krennic before we get him, and Krennic makes so much sense.
So it does. I actually heard a rumor about there's an after credit scene next week.
I hope so. I hope so, because
I didn't say Krennic. I'm not going to put that in there, but there's an that explains what they were making. In prison.
Yeah, because there was a tweet. There was a tweet by somebody saying that what they were making in the prison is actually very, very important. So Maybe something to do with our poll that we put
TIE
up in
Defender
our...
wing.
We're
TIE
gonna know.
Defender wing.
We're gonna know what it is next week. It's gonna show why it made what it was.
Yeah.
So that was the rumor.
Okay.
Oh, there was another rumor. Sorry, real fast. Was that we were gonna get our first F-bomb too?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
know.
right.
You
talked
told
about
me
it.
about it. Yeah.
No, I saw it. It was okay. The word is we got to. I'm gonna use my F-bomb now. It was we were gonna get a fuck the Empire.
Ah.
Swear to God.
By who?
So, see, I thought it was going to be at the funeral, but it might have been. The dude today said something about the Empire, right? It's like Saud, not Saud, because that'd be almost the same thing if we were British.
Yeah.
Right?
Saud,
but
yeah.
I'm going to say, Saud the Empire, right?
Right.
He said whatever he said. I'm like, I wonder if they changed it, because they were worried that might not make it all the way through. But I would love it. What would you think if they dropped an F-bomb at this funeral and the Empire showed up and they were like, F the Empire?
At this point, yeah.
I
would
know
love
that
it.
I am the single voice of dissent here whenever I say I don't like it. I don't want it. The shit was enough. That was borderline too much for me. But
as long as it's not a habit, my opinion is as long as it's not a MO moving forward, and if it's this one time,
Are we making it a habit? Are we just pushing it every time? We've got a brothel. We said shit.
well,
We're about to drop an F-bomb. Are we? What are we getting next? I'm gonna
the
get a full
creators-
frontal soon.
the creators, we almost did. We did have our sex scene. I mean, kind of like
we're gonna
Star Wars
get Wookiee dong any day, and we're
Oh,
gonna be like, whoa.
Here's the
So,
thing.
Wookiee Rocket-
do you think we already haven't?
So we have when we're gonna get a shaved Wookiee and be like, whoa.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's perfect. Okay, 2 points I gotta make. Sky Raider, frack the Empire. I'd rather them say the actual word than do something.
They
Star
use
Wars.
their
Remember,
words like that, yeah.
like
Hey, I'm a huge Battlestar Galactica fan. That works for me.
No, yeah, you're wrong. Like I hate Dank Ferrick. I hate it. I hate it. I hate that. It's the cheesiest, whatever it is. Yeah, I'd rather
do
like
too.
people are saying like he should have said poodoo and say no. He said shit, and I love it. I love the fact that
Remember,
he said that.
I'm just
not
hearing it
as-
translated to what our word would be, right?
Yeah.
Whatever they said isn't what they're saying. They're saying blah, 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 blah. And I'm hearing
Yeah.
F the Empire. And that's the way it should be.
Skyrider, yeah, he agrees with Scott. Keep the unmodified earthly stuff out of. I think we're all in unison.
There were
with that.
pelicans today. Pelicans.
There were blue pelicans.
There's pelicans are as earthy as fuck. I used 2 of them.
Oh my god, dude, we are like
No,
three for
no,
you now.
look, because if Disney's going to be able to use it, I'm going to be able to abuse it.
Wait till they use it though. We have to
I'm
wait
just
until
saying.
it's official.
Are you going to have to put next week if you have to put a yes or no in the beginning? Like about language,
Yeah.
We're like, whoa, they're doing it. They're
Over,
going for it.
wait, Disney Plus for another $2.99. You'll be able to get adult language.
Every poodoo inside, everything has changed.
Just changed.
Oh,
Yeah, because now
it's
they're
like
gonna have.
it's like watching Rick and Morty edited versus non-edited.
Yeah.
It's way better non-edited. I want to hear everything unedited. Star Wars.
Oh my god, yeah. So, where the hell was I? Yeah,
I don't
so
know. I killed
yeah,
it,
so
sorry.
Marva's funeral is set up to be, like I said, the showdown.
Yeah.
I really feel for yeah. So daughters of Ferric, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
They're called?
yeah.
And they're the ones that I guess they're the ones that the keeper of the dead kind of deal, and putting them back into stone, finding a wall for them to fit. That was cool.
Yeah, that's so wild.
But we also get an update on Bix, and I feel so bad for her.
Oh, yeah.
She
Which
does
sets
not
up-
look good.
No,
She's getting the
she's seen
business.
better days. Yeah.
Yeah.
That what a cool concept of just having that torture device in Star Wars that can do something to this, like
Just
this,
from
where-
listening to the sounds that it produces.
Yeah.
And
Unbelievable.
the whole point of them interrogating her is, of course, to find out who Axis is, and they're thinking that is it this Krieger guy? And here's
Right.
the first shot of Krieger.
So Krieger is the one who the Empire. It's obviously Luthen went to Saw Gerrera first and said, "I need you to work with this guy for a takedown." And Saul was reluctant. I'm not going to do it, which comes back to play later. So, and this guy Krieger is the one who they intercepted a pilot that kind of exploited this whole job that they're doing. Right, Krieger's job is 30 men, and Luthen was like, last episode, well, we're going to let this play out and think the ISB has its has the upper hand, but in the meantime, we are going to lose Krieger plus 30 men and whatnot. So it is a strategic
Yeah, he sacrificed them. Yeah,
yeah. It's a strategic chess move on Luthen's part to lose these guys. Eventually Saul agrees with it, but yeah,
oh,
she
dude,
sees,
and
here's the thing. So she was asked if this is, Luthen, basically, not Luthen by name, but is this the guy who's her contact? And did she give a head shake at the end? Like, no, at the end?
She was taking a breath, and it almost looked like she was about to say no, but it cut before we saw what. Because
I'm thinking that if she says yes, then they have no need for her anymore. Like, right? Like, first off, she knows that's not the guy she met. But if she just lies and says, yeah, that's him, just to throw off, like, the rebellion stuff, she's dead.
They're not broken. Yeah, they're not going to let her out until they verify, or at all, right? Mm-hmm. So she can't lie. She's a mess right now. Yeah.
So I think that she did shake her head, like a very faint head shake, no, because just the way she was looking and whatnot. So who knows? It wasn't very clear on if she told him anything or not, but
I don't think she did, but whenever
it wasn't clear, right? Like it wasn't like I might be like just that. Yeah.
Just from listening to the sounds of things, and
she's just shaking. I just like, oh, she said no.
They're threatening to do it to you again.
Yeah,
I'd tell them everything. I mean, not to sorry guys. Yeah, no, that's not him. His name is Luthen.
Right. Right. Well, she doesn't know his name.
That's right.
Bondage Brittany letting men die in hopeless battles to buy time for something else is bait, enemy, etc., etc. Very normal part of war, not special spy evilness, which means normal. War is also evil. Absolutely, it's a chess move.
It just takes a special type of person to do it.
It does.
Yeah,
you can be a follower and be okay with it. It's really hard to pull the trigger on sacrificing people.
And this is why.
So you got to be heartless almost.
Yeah. And if we go deep into the rebellion, Rebel Alliance war, if it was just Mon Mothma's and Princess Leia's, we wouldn't have the Rebel Alliance as we have it. We need the Luthens and the Saw Gerreras to strategically, in vicious ways that they did come back later, like, in vicious ways to actually like win the war. Now, I believe in this, in the alliance, when it comes to an actual alliance, there are going to be those extremists, but Saul was the partisans. He was ousted, in a way. It just makes you think like how on a razor's edge the rebellion sat the whole time. It could fall apart on any freaking moment, right? Any loss, any kind of stuff. So it just kind of, like I said, you go deeper into it and you go like how fragile this alliance is, how much is needed for the ruthlessness of it, the chess moves to, that's war. Sending 200 men to their death because 2,000 is going to take the keep. That's war, and that sucks. I mean, that you look on the ground, it's like all those people had families, but you can't look at that as a general. You got to really make those tough decisions.
Luthen is going to fall, and Mon Mothma is going to be the one to pick up the banner and run with it. So
she's going to have to.
It's an inevitability.
She's going to limp with it for sure. She is a reluctant person. They're just going to be looking to, again, like I said, she is beating the hell up in Return of the Jedi, right?
All she thinks she's doing is funding a rebellion. She doesn't think she's leading a rebellion yet. And she is not. She is not a leader yet. She is just the bank. She's the bankroll for the rebellion. And it's going to take the loss of Luthen and to really drag her kicking and screaming out to the front lines.
And here, Skyrider. Okay, I might backtrack this a little bit. He thinks Leia, or he or she, I'm sorry, if Skyrider, thinks Leia had in her to be ruthless. She did name Dantooine as a possible site for a rebellion. I don't know if she knew that they were going to blow up a planet then, but she was about to sacrifice another planet for.
She wouldn't have known that. She just tried to sacrifice an empty base, which she did.
Yes, maybe so.
No, Leia would, in the long run, accept losses. I don't know if she would send them to their inevitable doom.
Right.
But I think she would know that it was accepting losses, not necessarily say, "Hey, these 200 are expendable."
Right.
F them, right? But she
isn't that what Poe Dameron did too?
We're gonna lose men. Yeah. We're gonna go on the Death Star. We're gonna lose men. Yeah. It's gonna suck.
She reprimanded Poe for doing exactly that same thing. To talk sequels, Poe did sacrifice a whole fleet of bombers for that one ship.
dreadnought.
And who was the one who was pissed about it? Leia. he got demoted and all that stuff. And he goes, but we took
Well,
out
so
a
yeah,
dreadnought.
they're dead
what
heroes,
cause?
but no
Leaders. I think,
forget
right?
exactly.
Yeah, dead heroes, no leaders. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I don't know. Like I said, the rebellion is such a fragile state at this point, and every decision is tough. It's tough, man. And when we get into when Luthen meets up with Saw and telling him about the plan, like, I'm gonna let this happen, but he said Saul wants to help him, and he was like, I'm gonna leave it up to your decision. Do we save this plan, or do we let this happen? Yeah. Let's
one
talk
thing
about
one thing that I really liked about this is we start to really see the scenes of Saw's the sea of Saw's paranoia. You really start to see, who he will become in Rogue One, which is what, 6 years later, 5 years later at this point, almost. And I like that. I really he doesn't know who to trust, and I like that wear and tear we're starting to see on his mentality.
Yeah. Who you got here? Who you got here? What's going on? Tell me who's the man. Dude, and Luthen is a complete whack job pointing at tubes.
Amazing.
But look at this scene right here. This is like a great Oscar-winning scene. I don't care. Like Luthen knows that Saul is going down this paranoia path, and so he names Tubes as my informant. And Tubes is like, what the hell, dude? But he points the gun and aims it at Saul. Yeah. He points the gun and aims it at Saul for the sole reason of like, I've got your attention now. Like calm down. This is the only way I can get your attention.
Yeah, he's like, you're not getting out of here alive if you kill me. I'm not gonna kill you. I just need you to shut the hell up.
Yeah, you're freaking out. Wasn't that cool though? And Saul knew. He just kind of like it zeroed in.
Yeah,
it's a sickness at this point, or it's getting to it. And he zeroed in and he concentrated.
And Luthen knew that, right? Because Luthen told him that. He's like, concentrate. You're about to lose your mind right now.
Yeah.
He was talking him down. The sun's going down.
Yeah. The sun is going down.
We're getting real low.
Yeah, no, I love the scene. And of course, Saw, inevitably agrees. It's war. Let's just call it what it is. It's war. And like I said, the whole chess move sacrifice thing. But it's just a great scene. Like he was all in. He's like, all right, you've got my air support, but I want everything you promised. No tactical information. I'm doing this my way. I'm all in. We're ready to go. And it's just more Saw. I want more Saw. I wouldn't mind an animated spinoff. Another animated spinoff. Yeah. Matt Logic. Now we're in the scene. What was Luthen carrying?
We covered that a little bit earlier.
It says extendable staff.
This is Kane. Yeah.
Extendable but expendable staff.
Right.
Is Kane. But it could be a lightsaber on the other side. We vote no.
Or a vibro blade or something.
An electro blade works for me. You get that thing shocking people, I'm in. So
I think if anything, I think it's more or less maybe a last ditch communication efforts for some things. Hidden in that staff somewhere. I don't know if it's a weapon of such, but somewhere
or information like in a little compartment.
Yeah, something, because he's very adamant about carrying it everywhere he goes. I mean, he doesn't really need to carry a staff if he can walk really, especially meeting Saw. But I think it's something where it's either a self-defense thing or maybe a thermal detonator inside.
We will
taking
see
everybody with me.
We will see it before the series is over in full use. I'm assuring you all of that. Damn it.
Yeah.
We will see him.
Confirmed clickbait for people already listening.
That's right.
Yeah. Our fly on the wall says.
That's right.
Our fly on the wall. Our sources, Scott.
Our sources.
Right. Well, there's that old saying, you don't show a weapon and then not use it, but
That's
then
true,
again,
too.
while they were in the prison, they
Unless
had
they
the little
call the
laser
cops.
gun. Yeah,
unless you get escorted from the building.
They had that little laser that they were welding with in the prison, and they never used it. But they made a point of showing it.
Yeah, you're right.
Why didn't they use that damn thing? They could have easily used it, burned somebody's eye or something. I don't know.
Unless it was attached to a hose.
Cut through the water thing.
There we
Instead
go.
of the file.
Yeah.
Too easy. Too easy. Hey, real quick, since we're on the path of partisans and stuff, let's go. We're going to jump way back. We're going to jump way back. So we know these clowns, the guy on the right,
favorite.
and Melshi,
yes,
are both going to end up somehow with Saw, right? Because we know that Melshi and Andor are going to split.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, Melshi wasn't part of Saw's people though. Melshi was with Mon Mothma.
Oh, he
and
was
on
Mon
Yavin 4.
Mothma. You're
Yeah,
right.
But it doesn't mean that they both could start out with
Oh.
Saul. You know, and again, there's time there. They both could have started out with Saul, and Melshi goes to
Yeah, you're right. I had him
Andor,
as a
you know?
partisan. He was in a rebellion. He was.
Yeah.
That's right.
right.
But
But
here's the guy
look at this. This is awesome.
Where did this come from, Chris?
from Rogue One. This was on the internet, but it's also in the visual. This is from the visual dictionary. But this cat was actually part of Saw's partisans in Rogue One. I forget. He's able to analyze kyber deposits and examines them through his eye. You can all read that. But
Yeah.
that was a pretty cool connection there that they just threw in, right? I wasn't expecting any kind of part of. Well, who would, right? But this random alien is
For our
part of
audio
Saw.
listeners, it is the Narcanian with the robotic Cyclops eye. What's his name? Side Ock or something like that.
Cockeyed.
Yeah.
Hawkeye? That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Sayedok. I don't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
More importantly, this has happened chance that they met.
Yes.
Escaping on the prison planet there, and these guys were fishermen. Like both of them were just sitting there doing like mind their own business, and
obviously angry with the Empire.
Yes.
yeah,
Right
like,
after a minute, after they go from wanting to sell these guys and eat these guys and whatever else they were going to do to these guys with a banjo, all of a sudden they're like, you know what? Screw the Empire, I'm in. Let's roll on this quad jumper from Episode 7.
great
Let's just
callback.
Jump.
Look at that! It's a quad
nice
jumper.
slide. Well done. So it's not.
Really
It's going to be
good
faster than they wanted this ship instead of the Falcon.
It's a piece of junk.
So no, this one's good to go.
Yeah,
We're good. The Falcon's a piece of junk. This thing's gonna fly him right out.
exactly.
So
And, we
neat-
saw
neat
how it took
callback.
off.
You don't see a lot of quad jumpers, so it's neat when you see something from the sequels. You know, they like to connect stuff, and then you realize how old this ship is. It looks old there. 37 some odd years later, it's still the ship type, the model is still around. That's an old ass ship.
And that is the same exact model. There is no difference to it whatsoever.
No, that's
other
it.
than paint job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah,
No,
It's
that's
got
a
little
great-
green instead of red. So
Yeah, this was a great Easter egg, and I believe like the Easter eggs are getting more and more not subtle. You know what I mean? Like this is just a cool throw in there and a good tie-in, just as a Star Wars ship in general. You know, just to see more familiarity on it. The two dudes being practical effects. Like, come on! I felt so labyrinth right here in this scene. Like, you know, I was just like.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm like, oh my God, thank you. This is great. I love the fact that like one speaks basic, one doesn't, you know, and their interaction here was great. Like they capture him because Kazi and Melfi, they're making a break for the quad jumper, and they got caught in these on their nets, and basically, you know, told them like, you know, we're not with the Empire. We hate them. We escaped, and okay, we'll let you go.
Yeah.
And so. We had this discussion before, so I believe all four of them escaped on the quad, and this is how we get that dude into the rebellion.
yeah.
Well,
you know.
they're gonna have to. Obviously, they're gonna at some point catch up with Saw. So we know that Andor and then we'll catch up with Saw, and that guy will, and then Melshi will hook up with Mothma.
Yes. Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, they probably, probably, like I said,
I don't know if we're gonna see all those connections. They might just show up and be like, "Oh, look, it's you, Syed. Good to see you, buddy."
Yeah.
We're just gonna call you Ock because
Ock.
Yeah. Last
So-
names only.
He
Was
has a
it
PhD though.
That's right. Was anybody else getting a real Children of the Corn vibe?
Oh,
Here?
this
I mean-
explains so much. Like,
Yeah, man.
so we're catching up with Mon Mothma here, and his daughter's in the room with the what is this, like the
Daughters of Chandrilla, I would think.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
religious-
Chandrillan. Yeah, they're into the old laws, the old rules. That's
They're
what
Amish. They're basically the Amish of
Basically.
the Star Wars universe, right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. No, they're chanting, pretty much their tenets or something, whatever it is, and they're all into this. Like, again, the way Mon was kind of describing it, it's almost like a cult, ancient cult of Chandrilla, right? It's like this,
Well,
like they marry off.
I think it's just their religion. I think it's just their beliefs, their cultural. It's their culture, right?
Well,
but it's the old ways.
Like
they
I
haven't
said,
adapted.
it's more cult worthy because even what's her name? Vel comes in
Vel,
and kind of it's like, no, this can't, like, come on, not her.
Are you serious right now?
No.
Yeah.
See, I see this more like I don't know much about. I'm not a religious guy, right? I see this more like Catholicism, right? Everybody's doing chants and so, reading from the Bible, doing these things together, all this stuff. And then that's why when she said, "Oh, is this your husband?" She said, "No, he's actually quite open-minded about it, honestly."
Yeah,
because you let people choose. Like here in our world, you let kind of some people let their kids and stuff learn their own religion and be open-minded about it. And that's how I saw that. They were letting her find her own path of what she believes. I don't know. I just read it differently. Maybe
but
wrong.
Vel, whenever Vel saw it, though, she's like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me. She is not seriously."
That's what I meant.
You're still doing this stuff.
Definitely letting her children choose. Like,
it's going back to that whole, Mon Mothma had an arranged marriage at 14 because she was a part of this old ways thing, and haven't we grown beyond this? And aren't we past this? And why is it's
but she's about to do it to her.
She has
that was pretty clear. Yeah. But how's that? Hey, so her daughter is worth 400,000 credits.
That is messed up.
Everyone has a price.
Yeah. Hey, hero, you got a price on your daughter. That's the leader of the rebellion.
Again, is it satisfying to us as fans knowing that our characters that we loved and cherished so much are flawed? You know what I mean? Like,
but you know what?
But is it that, or is it that she's trying to save the rebellion? She's trying to save her family because she knows that if she gets caught, her daughter and her husband are going down. She probably give a shit about her husband, but her daughter's going down too.
Yeah,
maybe.
I honestly don't know at this point. She cares about the rebellion at this point. She's worried about her own hide. Like she's worried about her own position. Or yes, she did it for the rebellion, but she's so worried about getting caught at this point. Like that she's willing to accept that the guy's money to have the meeting of their daughters and do this tradition and stuff, and she's torn about it. I don't think, in my opinion, I really don't think it's about the rebellion. At this point, it's about preserving her cover and her own hide
or else it all falls apart. If she falls apart, it all falls apart.
I'm not buying that it's to save her own hide necessarily. I mean, I know that's part of it, definitely, but I don't think that's primary. I don't know.
Do you think they added this scene to show her embracing the old ways so that it doesn't make Mon Mothma look as horrible because the daughter's not going to fight it because she's going to be into the old ways and betrothal and stuff?
She just
so there would be no other reason for it. Like they just did that. Look, this without this scene makes Mon way too hardcore. We can't just have her selling her damn daughter. We have to have it without her permission. Right? We have to somehow bring it in where it's okay with the daughter. I feel
that's
like
a good point. No, that's a good point.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Because it's weird. Right? So.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, because it's never said that just because the two would meet that was the permanent match. It was
right. He just wanted to provide an introduction.
Maybe Mon just knows her daughter. Like it doesn't matter. She's gonna jump over the first opportunity because
she'll be okay with this. They'll be rich. They'll be good. This is what she's into. They're into the old ways. She's into the old ways. It works out perfect. It makes sense. And like I said, they soften it because of that. Because she can't just sell her off.
Chinchilla Girl
Scouts.
Yeah. I felt bad for Mon in this episode. Again, this whole episode is a downer, like a very, very emotional downer.
Most episodes are.
They are.
The music in this is a downer, man. I'm telling you, dude. That's probably why I have trouble sometimes. It is gorgeous, man. But I got 37 minutes of all the time. It's like, okay, that's why I can't watch it a bunch. I can't. After today, I'm done with the episode. Once we're done talking here, I'm done.
I mean,
that's fair.
It's weird. Fair. It's weird. I don't hate it. I love it.
You're listening to. It's like listening to Nine Inch Nails, their slow songs on repeats over and over and over again.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah, no, like Andor isn't something that we would spend a lot of time in a line or when we meet up. We might touch on it, but it's not gonna take up so much. It's like, it was cool and we can reference it, but I don't think we'll be like talking about Andor referencing other things like we were doing now because it's new. But yeah, it's just a different vibe. It's a different show, The showrunners they even said we were allowed to do whatever we wanted to do, and it shows. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have any. I mean, I'm sure they had guidelines or whatever. They have the final say. Kathleen Kennedy can. I'm not showing this. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, they also believed in the whole crew. to do it.
And they believed in Rogue One too. I mean, and this is absolutely Rogue One. You know.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I missed today? I missed. They went to a couple planets, and I didn't catch where they were. They didn't do any of the pop-ups.
They didn't. Where was Saw?
There were planets they had been to before, and
even where the Star Destroyer was.
Yes, because that was the same planet the Saw is on, I believe.
Oh, but even still, they even in Rogue One, didn't they show me more than once? It would be nice to I'd like to know where I'm at. And I think it's really cool that Rogue One does that.
You're right. I was waiting for that when Luthen went to go meet Saw. I was waiting for what planet that was.
We hadn't been in space in a minute. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, okay, now where are we? Give my bearings.
Something sector. Like something. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah. Even when they go to Fennec, it can show me, hey, I'm back on Fennec. Thank you.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not an astronomer. I'm more so in the Star Wars universe than ours.
Well, like I said, when this is all said and done, we have to have a visual dictionary to add it into our brains. You know what I mean? There's a lot of characters and a lot of planets that we went to. Just going, finish off Andor's little part of this whole thing, of course, and then we'll get into Luthen and the space battle, because I think that was the coolest thing about this.
I'm adding a few more slides because I want to.
Okay.
So don't.
So Andor, of course, they escape and they go back to Navarro. It's Nemo, or I don't know what it's called. Starts with an M, ends with an O. Planet, the beach planet, where he got arrested.
Niedro, or something like that.
Something like that.
Niesto. Yeah. We're good.
And we called it the stuff is still above the shower. I love it.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
but did you notice how abandoned that planet was, though? I mean, other than that particular bedroom they were in, right. I don't know if they were just there super early in the morning or what, but that place was bustling before, and now it was completely abandoned.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think they made a point to show that.
Yeah,
but to that point, it's still on top of the shower.
Yeah, remember I told you it's a perfect hiding place. Like that's why
it looks like a decoration.
It was like something the last place the cleaning crew is gonna look.
That's so
we
annoying,
said that last
dude.
week.
There was so much money in there.
There was a lot, and they also made it a point that he triggered on and off the manifesto too, of the kids.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah, I like that. It's
Mouse
again, Mouse's manifesto, which was cool, and it said like tyranny, God. And then he shut it off real fast. So
that annoys me so hard, dude. This whole scene is.
I think it's good. I think it was a good hiding place.
I mean, I guess if it's that point of it, it's silly, but it's so out of place.
If you look at everything that's right there, you don't have anything that's really used right there. It looks like a bunch of decorations on shelves that you would find in a hotel room. You don't necessarily go around opening up and moving around decorations when you're in a hotel room.
Oh man, you don't abuse a hotel room like I do.
No, I don't.
Come on, I'd have been banging on top of that shower. There's no way that box would have stayed there.
Oh, Chris.
Hey, there's a Walmart fan right there on the left. It's like, come on. These guys.
We've been, this is all well and good, but we've neglected one very important part of this episode so far before we get back to the Fondor and Luthen, and that is this guy.
Yes! Yay! Linus lives!
The return of Linus.
Oh man! Yes, the only thing that'll make me happier than that is my Thrawn. That's the only thing.
Okay, but weren't you guys ear to ear grinning on the interaction?
Yeah.
Like Linus couldn't hear anything, and he's like, "Yeah."
It's like they gave the guys totally said, "Just go talk about something," and we're gonna this is what I want you to talk about. This is what I want you to talk about. And just start having a conversation. But they never heard each other.
Nope.
I hope that's how it went down. Like nobody wrote that.
First off, Linus's loyalty to Cyril is still awesome. Linus did not lose any
sir.
He didn't lose any respect. Yeah, he didn't lose any respect for Cyril at all. What happened. And basically to tell him that hey, Andor's mom died and he might go there, and that's what he was telling him and stuff. So but the interaction of on Moria or whatever, he goes, yeah. He's like, what about it?
Yeah, her mom. Yeah, his mom.
It's interesting though, because we're talking about Luthen and how Luthen is like the ultimate chess player, and here we are lining up all the pieces in a game of chess for the final, the final drive here, the final gambit. And we're all going to end up converging again.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be there. Dedra's going to be there. Andor is going to be there. We've got Cyril. They're all going to be there. I'm hoping for a seriously explosive finale.
Well, Luthen's going to be there with whatever. Before we get into the Fondor thing, because and Luthen, there was that cryptic message that he was contacted before he got bored, or that got tractor beamed. He was talking to his assistant lady, and they were talking in code and talking about one thing and then the other thing. Like, it's like, okay, we're the one thing is in motion. What about the other thing? Is there still a buyer on the table? And I mean,
that's a callback too, isn't it? Because weren't they talking before about something else in like episode 2 or 3 about there being somebody else on the sideline?
They did, right? Like,
we were trying to wonder who it was. Was it Bale? Because we haven't seen talk about Bale once.
Right.
Yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah, they haven't picked that back up. But the second half of that conversation, I'm assuming it was Andor they were talking about. Meaning,
you would assume.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Meaning because how he was saying, is it still in play? And she says there's many buyers on the field, meaning the Empire's watching him, we're watching him, kind of stuff like that. There was like code talk in there, which was so great that he was like, is it still in play? Or can we get to him? But then he was like, we need this to happen more than anything. We need him on I need this transaction to happen. Or we shut down. And now I don't think he was talking about killing him anymore. I thought he was talking about getting to him before the Empire does, because we need him. We need soldiers. We're about to lose a dude. We're about to lose some people. Maybe he's having a change of heart on Cassian. Or maybe his intention never was to kill him. It was her intention the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't think it would be his intention to kill him. I don't think
so. Yeah, me neither.
I want to say. I want to say that he values his. There's so few people in the rebellion that he values his people. But then he's throwing Krieger to the wolves. But there's a reason why he's throwing Krieger to the wolves. Maybe throwing Krieger makes him realize he needs as many people on his side as he can get.
Yeah.
Oh, and he can do that because Krieger's never seen him.
Right.
Andor
has. And this wasn't a plan. This wasn't a calculated move on Luthen's part. This was a forced move on Luthen's part to give.
But I think they've alluded. I was under the impression, maybe I'm wrong. I might have to go back and watch an episode. That I was really under the impression that he wanted her to go kill him, take care of him.
I think she's acting. That's why they're kind of like Clea. Thank you.
Clea wanted to say
because they remember she says you're slipping. I'm not slipping. I mean, there's conflict between the two on their purpose of the rebellion or their lives. And I think, like I said, I'm putting that in there where it's like maybe she's taking in the upper hand and saying Cassian knows who he is. He knows his outfit. We need to take him out. And Luthen's like, I put him in charge. He did this. And the outcome, we need him on our side. So maybe there is a conflict there that will get one of them killed. I'm talking about Clea or Luthen. It just seems a little more cloak and dagger-ish versus let's just kill him. We'll use him and kill him. Because then if that ever got out to that point, like if he told people I'm working with this guy and they kill him, no one's going to want to work with. It'll get out. You know what I mean? Like no one's going to want to join this. They're just going to be as bad as the Empire.
Yeah.
She might be acting on her best intentions, but against Luthen's wishes is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how that plays. Well, obviously, Andor is not dying, so
no. But one of those two might.
Yeah, he might have to take one of them out.
Yeah.
That's probably. Are we going to see that like a Solo twist where Solo had to take out what's his nuts?
Vel has the contract on him, so
yeah,
she's got the contract on him, and. Yeah, do you think Cassian would? Well, I mean, I guess the series is setting up for him to go back for the funeral. Having that as ground zero as the big battle. So
it's gotta. Watch everybody show up there except Cassian. Everybody's there. Luthen's
that's what I was getting at.
Vel, everybody's there, and Luthen and Cassian's just in orbit going, no, I'm not going down there. She knows I loved her.
Yeah. He's got to know it's dangerous, but he doesn't know it's a ploy yet. He doesn't know people are watching.
But he's got to get B2's personality chip so he can put B2's personality chip inside of K2.
Yeah. So if that is the case and he shows up and it all goes to, I mean, it all explodes. That's going to be a cool finale. It'll be really cool.
Siege of Ferric.
Yeah.
So I figure Cyril is going to get in Deidre's way.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Something's going to goof up there, and they're going to hose it up. They're going to blame Linus. No.
They're going to blame Cyril, and Cyril's going to get hanged for it. Watch.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. I don't like
while asking Deidre for a date. He's going to be asking her out, and she's going to just shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but especially tonight with his mother and all that, I'm like, this dude is freaking Norman Bates. Okay, he is absolutely the Star Wars version of Norman Bates, and he's stealing money from her to go fund his little trip to Ferrix. And it's just, man,
it's wild.
He hasn't even got his first paycheck yet. That's he's had to steal. I mean,
this guy's a mess. Hey, before we get to the other scene, the cool scene, one more Easter egg or cool scene was payphones.
Yeah.
Scott knew where I was going.
He was yeah.
Well, this is cool.
I honestly thought you were going for the double tap, but
the double tap too. That's canon. All right, so those are the two earthly things made canon: payphones, which are outdated on Earth, but they're okay in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago, and then a double pat bro hug. Yep. Like so, I mean, he went in like a bro hug. And if anybody gets bro hugs, it's always a double tap, no exceptions.
So it's the grasping the hand, pulling in, tap tap,
fist
bump, and you back up. That's it.
Hilarious. I'm like,
and now we need that shirt. And we need that shirt.
I'm like, these guys shop at Kohl's, they use payphones, and they double tap. So I mean, what the hell?
Love it.
This could have been Dennis. This could have been in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Probably
was. Yeah. They did film it in some of it in they didn't. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, got things.
Yeah.
So that right there was Hesperia.
No, that was Obi-Wan. That was the Obi-Wan show.
That was Obi-Wan. Definitely filmed
Joshua Trees. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, but what I was saying is like, it's just another example of how this show is Blade Runner. This is a Blade Runner show. It's got that stuff, it's like payphones are still a thing in Blade Runner, you know what I mean? But in that way, a video kind of conference kind of whatever. And I love it.
It's funny. I can't see the video. He was just to the side of it.
Exactly. He goes, I'm not getting a video. Yeah. Smart. He's trying to be smart,
Yeah.
Don't use my name. Use it 3 times.
Stop. But I didn't say Cassian. I said Cass.
I said Cass at the end. No names. Yeah. But so the finale or the final scene of the space scene made me happy. It just made me happy of this is because we got some Star Wars action, we got some Imperial action, and a very smart cat and mouse chase scene here, or not chase, but interaction here too. It was really cool.
And the
I need this ship. I need the Fondor in my collection. That is an amazing ship.
And it's amazing that they use Colin Cantwell's Star Destroyer.
Cool, right?
And did you catch that it is the Cantwell class Star Destroyer?
Cantwell class Star Destroyer. I mean, come on.
Cantwell class Star Destroyer. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
really cool.
Pretty slick use right here, and a cool scene, right? So it does it. So when you get caught in a tractor beam, there are ways out. And how disappointed am I in Han for not having this on the Falcon?
Yeah,
what's going on. So very cool scene watching that get blown up.
The countermeasures. He had to wait until it was full powered tractor beam, and then he released metal shards so it would destroy. It would pull it in so fast that it would destroy, the beam itself.
Jesus, right? So that didn't even dawn on me that they were also caught in the tractor beam going full power.
Yeah.
Holy crap. How cool is that?
Because he purposely thrust. He purposely full throttle to get them to make a maximum, maximum tractor beam to release the countermeasures to blow. I mean, come on, dude, that's awesome.
That is so. That didn't even dawn on me. I mean, already they're shooting out super fast, and then it just gets increased in power that much. Come on, that's freaking.
Yeah, because
awesome,
I'm thinking does a tractor beam disable weapons? Weapons like lasers and missiles and all that stuff because no one's ever done that before, right? So this might, because it said countermeasures, so it has to be some sort of where it was just debris, because that's what I thought it was, just debris.
Lunar Girl asks, when Scott gets the Fondor, will we see a 2-minute toy review? No, you'll see a 10-minute toy review on that thing. I did. Yeah. What did I do on the Razor Crest? A half hour?
30-minute? Yeah.
It was a half-hour long review. So you buckle up, baby. Here it comes.
It'll be 1 month of 1-minute reviews, 30 minutes total.
Of the Fondor. That's right.
And I will watch every one of them. But yeah.
Now, I'll tell you this. This ship here gets respect because of the story behind it. But I'll tell you, if there wasn't a story behind it, I would rip the design of that ship to shreds. The tractor beam itself. Just knowing that the tractor beam is that huge, it's wild. But
exactly.
And where are you pulling it to from there? I don't know. So,
all right. So we've also got a pilot. Now, whenever you've got Han and Chewie flying the Falcon, you've got to have somebody in the gun seats to actually, defend the ship.
Yeah.
Here you've got Luthen, who is flying the ship along with his little droid co-pilot, and he's shooting at the same time. He is taking aim at these guys and
calm as can be. I love it. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm like, how skilled of a pilot is this guy? Is he going to be up there with Han and Hera as some of the best pilots in the galaxy? Or what?
Isn't his droid part of the ship? Isn't that thing kind of AI driving with him?
Yes, it is. But at the same time, it was while he was doing this, he's evading while the droid was calculating for a jump to hyperspace. So I don't know how the droid works. I'm not sure if it's a multitasker like that, if it can handle all those calculations and everything at the same time. But
yeah, it seems pretty advanced. So that is neat. That's a good question there. I like it. But hard to see.
But I thought the same thing though. Like this dude is not even breaking a sweat with 4 TIE fighters on his tail.
Yeah. Now 4 TIE fighters and a bomber.
and a lightsaber laser. What the hell is this?
I know.
I want it.
It's built with that's got some kyber in it. There's no way, right?
Yeah.
That's power. That's
whatever it is, we want it.
He had to power it up differently too. If you watch the
definitely.
It's the scene again. He's powering it up differently than he did his lasers.
Definitely a 5-minute cooldown on that thing.
Did he have to pull down a lever
to escape? I mean,
no, for the red things to come on.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't
like the Death Star when they turn it on and they go
right.
That's what I want to know.
Gotcha.
Because that's powered by kyber. I wanted to know if
it's mini Death Star technology.
Yes, what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Stolen tech. Hey, he's been stealing tech from the Emperor.
He has,
right? And different stuff. Why not? This thing is decked the hell out.
Yeah, but I also chalk it up to in Clone Wars. You know how those beams that were bringing down the ships on Geonosis itself, and those radar. It was just like a straight beam.
Yeah.
So it was like a bolt. It's probably like a charged. Not blast like the TIE fighters, but a short burst of energy that can create these beams. Not necessarily kyber or
just a
Death Star related, just a sustained blast. Yeah, but that has to be charged like it's almost like a EMP, a one-time use for a while, something like that.
Right. And Bondage Brittany saying the skill for computer assisted turret shot was buying stolen Imperial targeting units and not getting caught. Yeah, I could see this being Imperial, definitely, especially with what we were just talking about with the. I can see that.
I think he's juiced.
Yeah, Mervine. I thought the same. Okay, so Mervine's like, so was the TIE bomber supposed to board? I was like, why did they send a TIE bomber after this dude? Like, I don't.
That seem weird.
I know it's got front lasers. I know. I mean, it's like the only
intimidation.
Maybe like I'll just get over. Let me get over him. Yeah.
It only had a complement of 4 TIE fighters and a bomber. That's probably all it had on board. So they just send it all.
That's yeah. Because they were
even me. Almost yes, like you, Chuck. Just go. I can't shoot.
Yeah. You could just
go. We need to. We're paying you, aren't we?
I am.
If you see 3 TIE fighters coming out of it.
I'm right there with Skyrider. At first, I thought the sequence was going to be for a seismic charge. I did too. Right, I really thought that he was going to launch those things. But man, this is
cool. Something
maybe it didn't sound as cool, but man, this was super cool.
We've talked about this all the time. Like Chris and I, especially every time something new comes out, what is the new technology? Troopers, TIE fighters, weapons. What is the new vehicles that we're going to get in this series? Right, as our stuff and something like a seismic charge. As I would love that. It would be like but I like something a little bit more different. This is different.
I like that the seismic charge is specific to Slave One.
Yeah,
I like that. But that's.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So, it's funny, like, as we talk through the episode, it's an amazing, like, everything's fun. But I do have the sentiment where like I did have fun with this episode. I really loved it. But I was also like waiting for, it's always that last second, that second to last episode from any series that you would, no matter what, would be almost like a climactic cliffhanging ending kind of stuff to set up the finale, like a season finale. This show doesn't feel like it, even though we might get an epic season finale. It's almost like steady course, and then are we going to get this,
And are we going to get that? Or is it going to be like, if they give us that end credit scene, is that the part that gets us ready? Because are they just playing this like a 5-parter? And we're just and we're thinking we should get a conclusion each season, and we're not going to get what we think we're going to get. And that's cool. I hate not knowing, but that's part of the fun, I suppose. But it's like, I don't know what I expect next week. I don't expect to be.
I don't either, and that's what's fun.
Concluded,
honestly. But at the same time, I also don't want to hear a bunch of bitching on the internet next week if it doesn't go exactly as people have planned in their heads. It just that annoys the shit out of me.
If they are expecting a Vader hallway scene, then I think that's what they'll say. It'll be better if they showed Vader cutting everybody down. I'm like, again, like how many times? I know it's cool. But again,
you know what I mean? We're in Imperial land right now. I get my wishes right now. We're getting Krennic, Tarkin, and Thrawn at some point. So.
And quite honestly, if we got like business as usual and it's still like Mon, she's getting out of this thing, and in Cassian, maybe they have some sort of land battle and this stuff happens. But if they just show the Emperor addressing the Senate or just have him present, I'd be like, okay, I'd get up, I'd clap, I'd go to bed, and I'd be like, I can't wait to podcast about this.
Wouldn't that be an awesome after credit scene? All of a sudden it just shows the Imperial Senate and the Emperor walks up and he goes, "There's been a rebellion," or something.
This rebellion is getting out of hand, or something. Yeah, like that. I need the higher ups to address the elephant in the room, where the rebellion is not just a pocketed incident. This is something bigger, and that's why
But the Emperor won't say that publicly.
No.
He'll never show
not
any
publicly.
weakness.
Right.
True.
I'm talking him addressing the ISB, or like him calling Thrawn up and saying, "Hey, dude, we got to get you in the fight now."
It'd be you, Lauren, and if we get a Thrawn, he'd be with you, Lauren.
That would be awesome, right? Like they call Thrawn in now. It's like, all right, we're obviously getting outsmarted here. We need you. We need the.
That's why he was in Rebels.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly why he was in Rebels. Let's make that a plan.
Exactly.
That's his role. We're bringing in the fixer.
I love it.
Yeah, bondage. But yeah, there's this sentiment about Vader. I don't necessarily need Vader in this show. We talked about this at the very beginning before you even saw. I mean, besides the trailer, like in episode 1, it was like if we see any kind of Vader presence, it'd be like in a hologram call or a something where it's on a HoloNet. Or something in the background, which would make us. It still would be very thrilling because that ties in a lot.
I want to see those posters we always see, like that they sell. The Join
Fight
the Empire.
Now,
like our Uncle Sam posters.
Our
Solo. Things. We kind of saw it in Solo.
Yeah.
When they had the Imperial March. I mean, come on, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. So. But yeah, guys. So that was the episode 11. That was awesome. I'm in it. Like I said, there really can't go wrong at this point. Even like I said, if it is a more of the same next week, I'm still like, that was awesome, dude. I love it. Can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, I mean, we have to tie up. I don't see how Mon Mothma can get tied up like her family situation. That has to go to season 2.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how the money will get sorted out by next week.
I don't know.
There has to be something that really kicks her off. Yeah,
she doesn't abandon the Senate until season 3 of Rebels, which, if the story group is paying attention, doesn't happen for like another year, 2 years or something.
I think it's going to be
maybe next season. It's
season. Yeah, because remember, next season every 3 episodes is a year time jump. It's a year time frame, and it's going to lead right up into Rogue One, which leads up into New Hope.
And by that point, we will have already had Ahsoka season 1, which means we've had a live action Hera. Do you think it's possible that we could see Hera in season 2 of Cassian?
Yeah, I assume that actually a good point. I know I shouldn't want, right? I know it's early because we're 5 years out, but I did want to see that where we saw Bail and Hera, and it made sense. But I'm being impatient. This is a long, slow burn for
Right.
5 years, 2 seasons, 5 years. I guess gotta be patient. But yeah, Hera absolutely needs to make up. I thought it would be here to introduce her for people for live action for Ahsoka.
You know, we still got one more episode.
But here I am. All my guesses are Imperial, and because they all make sense, right?
That's true. Yeah.
But you could bust. I mean, they're not that way. Gilroy's not that way about dropping people. So I'm not going to get Bail and Leia and all these things I expect I should see, right?
No,
because Leia and Lita right now are pretty close to the same age,
right?
You know, so because this is 5 years after Kenobi.
You're right.
So there should be no reason why Bail and Mon don't get together and have their daughters with them and meet each other. They should.
Bail,
and their names are one letter off, for God's sakes. They got to know each other,
right? No, Lita's turning her ass in. That's what I think. It's all been pointing at her husband being like being the one that turns her in because he's so distrusting of her. But you see those side glances that her daughter makes at her. I really think her daughter will be the one to turn her in.
You know what? And it's fanatic. You know what's wild? She's the exact opposite of Bail, right? Because Briha is part of it. Briha is involved. Leia is involved. They're all on the same side. So that's pretty neat. I've never really thought about the conflict between the two, the differences between the two, which we never knew. But now that we see it, it's kind of jacked up. I'm sure when Leia and Mon talk, that's got to come up. And she's got to be like, how do you trust, she's talking to Bail, how do you trust that Briha is not going to turn like here?
Yeah.
Or how do you know Leia and blah, blah. It's just neat.
What's the line in Rogue One? Do you when Bail's saying I've got an agent, or he says something about I have one, and she goes, "Can you trust her?" Or can you?
I would trust her with my life.
With my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then that's so well. But she does, and Mon doesn't have that. So that's gonna be one of those. That's a conversation that should take place in this show, or could take place.
Yeah, absolutely. It could like that whole how wait, you're talking in front of your wife? Are we? Are you? Yeah. Hey, easy.
Oh wow, it doesn't happen in my house.
Don't worry about it.
Mervine, her daughter will turn her in for a seat within the Empire. I could absolutely see that.
Yeah, no, her daughter would. She does not have a motherly bond with that at all. So
her mom wants to get away from the old ways. Lita is fully embracing the old ways. Man, it's rife with.
As soon as accusations will come down to Mon about sedation and all that stuff, I think her family's going to turn on her. Sedation. They're like.
Why are we sedating people?
Not
sedition.
Hey, I have my dictionary here too. It wouldn't be an episode if I didn't say a word wrong. So
I'm like, man,
I love it.
Pop it with morphine and.
Did I say morphine? No,
you said sedated.
Oh, well, that too, because she needs to be sedated. I don't like her daughter.
Not one bit. Yeah.
No. But yeah, so that's it's eventually going to be a thing, and then I think that's where it's going to be where she's not going to have the support where she wants it, and that's when she's like, okay, let's go to Yavin. I'm gonna put my hair down now. I'm going to Yavin. Stop wearing turtlenecks.
and Mon Mothma letting her hair down is going from here to here.
Yeah,
right.
She did it once this season already.
In Return of the Jedi, she's more like here. So
right. Yeah.
She and my mom share the same hairdo from Return of the Jedi.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, I think that's enough for tonight, right? That's enough. We already went an hour and a half.
No, more.
I know. We could talk Star Wars. I mean, but let's get out of here.
I'll say this. I really dig how all the eras kind of come to one in this show. Just to say that real fast, because there's the Genevieve Riley that plays Mon Mothma being from the prequels, right? Mm-hmm. And being in here, Andor, which is from the newer versions, Cassian's in there. They make reference to the sequels, right? We've got Yularen, who was in the originals, not the same actor, but the character. Right, I mean, it's just really neat that everything crunches into this one, and the Clone Wars. You have all this cohesion between the eras that's something we don't have in all the other ones the way we do here. And it's pretty neat. So I appreciated that today for some reason more than I've seen it or thought about it before. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's just a cool vibe. So
yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I'm just waiting for a battle droid in the background somewhere. Let's do it.
Can I get a battle droid pop too while we're at it? Just want to bring up that real fast.
This is the only way. And
it'll say at this point they're just mocking you. They know that that's the one that you really want, so they're saying no.
Or if we see it in the background as a decoration in Luthen's shop, and then Chris's box, it'll say Battle Droid from Andor. It won't even say Clone War. It won't say anything.
It will.
You'll get a
I'll
Battle
get an
Droid from
Andor pop. You're right. Dude, you know how mad that'll make me? I'll be like, are you serious? Just give me an episode 2 freaking or 1 or any of them.
Yeah, right.
Just give me a Battle Droid. I don't care if it's a Clone War. I'll take a Clone Wars one. Don't care. But
it's funky colors. He's got like writing or something on him. It's not just a standard.
It's some artist graffiti bullshit. Yeah, thanks. That's what, and Christmas edition.
Yeah, Sabine got it to him.
It's a snowman.
I'd buy it.
That
I'd
you
buy
would.
it.
That's some bullshit they would put out.
Freaking
So
I'd buy it.
That's the Battle Droid. I hate
All right, guys. Well, if any last thoughts on anything next week or whatnot, we are going to have a show next week. It is Thanksgiving here in America for the show, but we are going to do a show on Wednesday because it's the finale, and then I don't know if we'll take a break for the following week, but we'll get back to you. Just stay tuned to our socials. You'll get updates. So
I might not be on next week. I forgot.
Yeah, it is. It's a holiday week for a lot of people, so we have to see who's traveling, who's not, but it is a finale, so it's like, oh, what do we do? Right?
I'll figure it out.
Could you imagine missing that one? Come on.
I'm so mad. I'm in Oregon with my boy.
Dude, if Ron's on there, you better.
Dude, could you imagine?
Oh man! All right.
Chris is not here, and Thrawn made it his first live.
Could you imagine?
And Chris isn't here,
dude. Even if Krennic's in there, I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?" I wasn't on the show. So I mean, Thrawn's the ultimate one, but Krennic, Tark, any of the imps. If I get an imp officer with Yularen and the Emperor, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Then this season was fantastic. If I don't get that, it was pretty good.
I think it still was fantastic. Honestly,
man. I give this.
I'm drawing a line.
A+.
Yeah.
The series is an A+ for me.
Oh, it could be better. It could be better. I could give it. I can get more into it. Don't get me wrong. So I mean, it's an A, but it's great. I do enjoy it. I've just done what I'm doing.
In my list, my little timeline list of all the Star Wars content, I'm putting it right after Rogue One, and Rogue One comes right after the original trilogy to me.
Yeah,
that's where I'm putting it.
This is so stupid. I know. But the better done ones aren't necessarily my favorites. You know what I mean? As you know, I love Attack of the Clones, right? It's just,
I know.
Again,
exactly.
It's a vibe, man. It's just a vibe. What makes me happy when I'm watching it? What do I want to rewatch immediately? Okay, and that's the vibe. Like it's taking you a long time to watch Peacemaker because it's not giving you that vibe. Obviously,
no, it is. It's just
like
that's a whole nother show.
It's been out for like 10 months, dude.
Right. It's not going anywhere. And that's the problem. It's not going anywhere. I have that.
You're rewatching Game of Thrones.
I already watched the whole thing.
I know. So did I. But I watched Peacemaker first, you jackhole. But watch this. All those things make me happy when I watch, and I'm really into it, and it gets me flowing, right? Andor I really enjoy, but I won't do that with them. I know I won't.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like I might not like go back and just like consume it and watch it, but it is there with one of my favorite Star Wars.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
And it is, and it's 100% feeling like it takes me back to like this is. It's so funny. I sit there and I go, "This is Star Wars." There's not a lot of Star Wars in it, but it's still a vibe that I'm getting, and that takes me back to kind of like New Hope, like completely like.
Kind of like Sorry Not Sorry, Star Wars, but not Star Wars. It's there's something about it. It's
a section of Star Wars, but not the familiar mythos and of spirit, like that whole adventurism Star Wars.
I've said it before. I look at it as Star Wars meets Breaking Bad. It's that slow build to action, and it's that because I'm sorry, Breaking Bad was great. So was Better Call Saul for the parts that I watched, but a lot of it was slow. Character building, methodical build up to big explosive action. Yeah. I hope to God we get that big explosive action at the end of this.
I do. Don't get me wrong. I do want something so I can sit there and like fist pump and talk. I really do want that. It is missing in Andor. That is one glaring missing thing. The action is cool, but it's just enough to get the. Yeah, it's just enough to get the characters from point A to point B.
My high, I don't get high from it. I don't get an adrenaline rush, right? No. I'm not like, whoa! I just doesn't happen with it.
I get a feeling of dread from it. For me, every up and maybe
nobody's safe. That's why
it's like everything is Everything is it's just a feeling of oppression and dread. And I sit on the edge of my seat watching it, reading and listening to every word.
Yeah.
And I'm just enthralled in it. It calls to me.
It's funny. And because like Mooch just said, nobody's safe. Well, everybody's dying. I know that.
Yeah.
Except for two. Mon's going to make it. Well, Mon's going to make it. Saw's going to make it for a while. Two Tubes is going to make it, and Andor's going to make it. Besides that, dude, and I'm sure B2's going to be in K2. So it's like
Melshi makes it. We know Melshi gets it.
And Melshi makes it. So we know who's going to make it. Everybody else, you're toast. Bix is done. Homeboy that helped him with the police, with the cover, that dude's done.
I think Ferrix is done. I think they're going to. I think the Empire is going to come in and lay waste to the place. And that's
if they feel that's the headquarters or the rebellion's headquarters, like the rise of it, then yeah, definitely, because they won't do it just for one person.
Send a message.
And I thought it was going to be, the death of his mother that drove him into the arms of the rebellion. But could you imagine if it's the death of his own home, his whole home world?
His second.
Sure. I know it's the second home because the first
home was
already wiped out.
That's what's 2 times blown up by the Empire or whatever was going on. Yeah. Just a one-up Leia, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't seen his sister yet either. Are we sure? Do we think we are?
I think it was just a. I think it was just a. Honestly, I think it was just a plot point to get Andor in the state where we needed to get him as far as us.
It's
Deidre looking for his sister. I don't think we're ever gonna hear it again. I don't, and I kind of don't need it. She could have died on the planet, and it was just his motive at the beginning of the season. And remember, every character has to go through a 180 motivation. So he was forced to forget about that and kind of reconcile that she did die. Maybe he does need final proof, but I don't think she's alive now.
Yeah. I hope. God.
Bondage Brittany Chandrilla Red Wedding will be the
Red Wedding. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
I'm in. I'm totally in. Let's do this.
Yeah, first throat slicing and Star Wars. Why not, dude? No, I'm kidding.
Dude, they send in Black Sun to just take care of business. Oh, come on, make this happen. See,
all right, guys. Well,
I don't know. They the writers they're wusses. They can't handle it.
No. If they pick an IP that they can't do that in,
yes, you can.
Well, you can't show, but if nobody will show it. Yeah, you just can't show it. Which they show a lot of blood in this one, but
a fair amount.
Yeah, more than enough, right? All right, guys. So anyway, thank you everybody in the pit. You guys were awesome. Everybody here. This is so much fun. Again, of course, we're gonna do this again next week, and we do the finale of Andor. But since Ernie's not here to take us out, I think we'll have Scott take us out. He's our backup, our runner-up, taker outer announcer guy.
Who's number 2? This guy, because he's full of crap and he's always willing to talk.
Always depressed. Look at his shirt. God,
so sad.
He's always in a shadow.
Sad. You got Cure Pops out today.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
It's funny, but Corn got Pops first, so take that.
Oh. So did Morrissey, and Robert Smith hates Morrissey. So hey, it's I never thought there would be Cure Pop. Never mind, because Morrissey has one. So anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate you all chiming in, especially in the pit. What a lively bunch we had in there today, just talking it up. And you doing that and you bringing more conversation just adds so much more to the show than what we 4 or 5 or 6, however many are on every night, can bring to the show. It adds a new dimension to it. And that's why we also think of you as also the Sarlacc Digest. So we really appreciate you being a part of this family that we're building. If you are so inclined, please go to patreon.com, log on patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest podcast and toss us a couple of dollars. I keep hitting my mic. Maybe it'll give me some defendable space here if I can purchase something to save me from hitting my mic.
The tractor beam's on.
The tractor beam is on. I'm whacking.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to rephrase. I keep hitting the track. Yeah, anyway.
He's always whacking it on the show.
I am always. Damn it.
Are you the boys that do so much whacking?
Whacking it in my shed, right in my tool shed.
So, anyway, also, if you want to continue all these conversations, log on to Facebook, go to the Sarlacc Digest Central, and we'll continue the conversation there. Also, check out TikTok, where I do the 1-minute toy reviews. They also upload to YouTube a couple weeks later. I do them a ways in advance. But check it out. Please hit the like button. We want you to Wampa stomp the like button out of nowhere.
I forgot our cheesiest
the cheesy
segment.
Part.
Boom.
Wampa
hey
stomp.
Guys, Wampa stomp that like button.
Okay. Enough of that shit.
Okay, now we're done with that. We've got to work on something cheesier than that.
Right. So
our energy level on it has waned. We
really dwindled because I'm so embarrassed.
Now it's like take the Wampa, stomp it.
But no, if you that are out there, however many of you are watching it right now, if you like the button, that just gets us into more people's ear holes. Okay, and we want people to stomp it. We want you to spread the Sarlacc Digest like a freaking virus. We want to
COVID. I mean, just go.
Right.
I don't care. I'm saying it. You spread it like COVID.
That's right. If you
can bleep that later,
show,
we'll edit that out later.
Share it with all of your friends and family. If your friends and family like Star Wars or just general nerdiness, share the show.
If you like COVID, just
nobody likes COVID.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, the best part about it was not being around people. But anyway, also Instagram. Go to Instagram. Look for Sarlacc Digest Central. Twitter, or not Sarlacc Digest, but the Sarlacc Digest, not the central part. Twitter, Sarlacc Digest. What else do we have? Ernie, you've got They're Not Dolls with the Toy Migos. You've got the Fallen Fett Chronicles. You've got Bootleg Joe down there, bootleg_760, where he is building Legos. He is showing action figure photography. He's not doing much talking, but we know he loves you guys and he loves the show.
Joey!
I forgot your... No, I'm kidding. You've got Grand Admiral down there. Grand Admiral Franz, also known as Darth Dad 77. And let's not forget Tashi Station Emporium, our wonderful sponsor with these amazing stands right here.
This isn't Star Wars, but War Machine should be. He's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, man. Take his
Look
card.
at that. I took my face and I put it on a Tashi Station stand.
Where's your face again?
It's right there.
No,
I had to repaint it because it looked awful.
It goes right in the trash.
Oh man, dude.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But Tashi Station Emporium, if you go to Tashi Station Emporium, enter Sarlacc Digest Sarlacc Digest podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the coupon code, you get 10% off, and his amazing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stands that are out now. Right? They are out.
They're not out, but they are. I'm in the process of taking pictures. So
there we go.
Yeah, that's the new. That's the new ones are coming out. So.
And he's got his G.I. Joe explosion stands, which are just
right behind
flying off the shelves behind him. Those are amazing.
Literally flying off the shelves.
Literally flying off the shelves. He's also got some Star Wars walls that he builds. It's amazing. And I recommend every one of you go out there and buy everything he's got in stock. So he has to panic again and make a whole bunch of other things. We're also going to be making a couple of appearances. I think some of us are. We're Marco, Darth Moocher here, and we're going to be at the SoCal G.I. Joe show in Temecula, California on December 11th. It is a Sunday. Come on down, get some Tashi Station stands, say hello. He'll sign he will sign your arm. He'll sign whatever you want to sign because he's famous.
Remember, hugs. I always give hugs. You don't even have to buy anything. I'm just a hugger.
He is.
If that's not enough for you to come say hi, then I don't know what to do.
It's quite nice. You get the little beard tickle going. It's amazing.
I almost did the silent pop, Jay silent pop thing.
Okay. Okay. Also, we've got Rogue Toys in Las Vegas and Salt Lake City and Portland, Oregon. Our pal Kyber Crystal, who owns Rogue Toys, for all of your toy needs, go to roguetoys.com and you will be seeing her at the LA Comic-Con. Jesus, the weekend is
December 3rd.
December 3rd. There we go.
Second, 3rd, 4th, something like that.
Second, 3rd, 4th. Yeah.
Wait, what day are we there? The 3rd?
3rd. Yeah.
3rd. Yeah. So you'll catch us there. You'll catch Crystal there, and just look for the Sarlacc Digest shirts and come say hi.
Yeah.
If we had $1 for everything you mentioned every week, we'd be styling.
Right?
Good Lord.
Right?
That's right.
Jesus. How'd you even handle all that?
I made it all up on the fly, man.
I got all these guys. Find us. It's easy. We got links and shit.
Yeah. It's all down there.
Go back to last episode and watch it. It's at the back.
Merchandise. We also have merchandise. If you want to start like I just
merchandising,
whatever. The
Flamethrower
link is down there. We don't have flamethrowers; they're out of stock. I'm so
Sarlacc the flamethrower. The
I
kids
got
love
mine
this
early.
Could you imagine?
I got it
Podcast
right.
burns down neighborhood
again.
Well, I think
All
we're done. Let's get out of here so we can get some sleep or watch Andor again. I don't know what you guys want to do. Maybe Peacemaker, but I don't know. But with that,
be honest, Marco.
Dick.
I probably won't watch it tonight. No,
Probably not.
No, I know you're not. Gonna go watch something else for the 4th time.
Maybe I've already watched it. I'm just messing with you.
I'm on Sons and Anarchy right now. You gonna watch that too?
Now that you mention it. Probably.
I mean,
where's it on?
Hulu.
I don't have Hulu. So.
Watch Peacemaker then.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.
Bye.